Hello guys, welcome to episode 5. Today we're talking about what are the comparisons between our generation and how our children are brought up now.
Big one. Internet.
Oh gosh, we can go anywhere with this. We've kind of touched on like rules and discipline. So I guess aside from that, I guess we take pleasure in having our own identity. I think back then, even our mother's generation or our parents' generation, it was all about, or even grandma's generation, they didn't really have their separate identity. It was either they hid behind their husbands, and it was ultimately just, who am I other than a mum? That's it. I'm not a person. Anything that my husband's rules got, it's just like, there's just rules for one person and that's it.
Yeah, we're more accepting now, I think. So, like, even with, coming out as a child back then, they just wouldn't. As in now, if one of our children turned around and said, I'm gay now, it's more accepting. The society is not as judged as it is back then. And I think that even reflects on ourselves as well. So, I don't know, actually. So, for me, when I gave birth quite young, I was judged still. I was still judged. I don't know if that's going to be repeated in history. So, like, the next generation, for example, someone else, not mine, someone else's child gave birth early. But will she be judged? Yes, I don't know. I just think it's just society rather than just a generation thing.
Right.
Does that make sense? So, I don't know. It's a lot more accepting now than it was then, definitely. But, yeah, I don't know.
I think in this generation or the new generation, who you are is more celebrated. The more you express who you are, the more you are celebrated. And, it's all about positivity, how you don't have to fit into society now. And I think the dynamics are changing in the right direction. Whereas beforehand, I feel society in the previous generation, you had to fit in. You had to, fit into society. You had to compromise yourself to fit in and
because
be
being
normal.
being different was weird.
Yeah,
it was seen as what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the way.
Yeah, exactly. And it's encouraged now.
Yeah.
To be yourself.
Yeah.
It's encouraged.
I kind of disagree because I think that compared to when, we were growing up in our generation, it was a lot different. We used to do more like activities. We used to go out. I used to play basketball. I used to do dance. I used to do all types of stuff. Whereas my children don't really do that. Like, I have to force them out the house to do stuff.
Yeah.
And I think actually with the internet, I know we've spoken about social media and stuff, but with the internet and having that accessibility to what other people are doing, I think that especially like with TikTok, for example, I don't think like my daughter, I think she does have her own identity, but I think she's also trying to do what other people are doing.
Fit in?
Like fit in, TikTok, look a certain way, do certain moves and I don't know, I'm kind of like torn in between.
But that's trends, though. That's trends. It's not
just trends, though, because they are seeing that. And, there's also studies that have shown that younger children or younger females, at that age, are more conscious about their appearance. Even at a young age, like 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, than we were back in, our generation.
Yeah. To be fair,
I don't think I really cared about if I was in sports gear or if I was in
these kids are wearing makeup in year 7.
Yeah.
I don't even think I started makeup until college.
Yeah.
I knew what concealer was.
Don't get me wrong. Obviously, it's nice. Like, obviously, some people are taking these platforms to build their own brand. Like, you see these kids that are building their own brands, and you've got your daughters. You're building your own brand as well, which is good. But I think.
But at the same time,
there's a lot more opportunities, I think. Social media, there's a lot more opportunities around that, especially for like you're talking about with the branding, things like that. It's easier for you to become Insta famous now and jump on that bandwagon. Whereas before, you kind of it felt like you had to work for it. plus
Yeah.
10 times more.
Yeah.
But now I
these-
feel like, sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, go on.
But then I feel like there's an extra pressure now because it's not just what their peers are doing in their actual circle. They're looking at everybody on the internet.
But I feel
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, 18-year-olds nowadays, they are more ambitious, they are more business minded. You know, because of
They see it.
Yeah, they see it.
Yeah.
They've got a lot more, you know, business minded. You know, they know they've got
Yeah.
goals. I don't remember me being 18-year-old and having.
I remember going into
my own
Connections.
business.
Do you guys remember
Yeah.
Connections
Yeah.
and talking about what your goals and
Yeah, you
aspirations
didn't
were?
know. Did you know?
No.
You tell me what I need, what goals I need to. You know what I
What
mean?
am I good at? I don't know.
Exactly. And then I just feel like, yeah,
There are positives.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say there's, but yeah, there are positives. But I just feel like it's not completely as, you know, what you said about they you know, having their own identity. I think it's all there most of the times. It's there for them to see and copy and imitate, and it's quite a dangerous place. And I, you know,
Yeah.
obviously we
Yeah.
try to
Yeah.
minimize the use of, you know, TikTok and internet and technology.
But it
in
also
general.
those social also brings a lot more awareness. So like things with, you know, I would never ever think would happen. I see it on a video, for example, a girl getting taken away just from walking from school. You hear about it, but when the social media actually shows you, it's like it almost
feels
it's
real.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
no,
you're
I
kind of
get that.
taken back a bit like that. I couldn't sleep for a whole week after seeing that because I just thought in my head that could be Lejla. But whereas back in the day, I mean, when we used to walk to school, it was nothing. I had no. My mum would be like, "Don't talk to no one. You obviously don't stranger danger and all that nonsense." But it's just, well, it's not nonsense. Sorry. but it's like, I don't know. I had less fear back then that
Yeah.
I would be taken away
Yeah.
than now. Now it's like I'm seeing everything. Everything's on a plate for me. I'm so paranoid when she
High
walks to
alert.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then is that a positive then? Because that's negative,
there
right?
is-
If
there
you're being
is.
it's
It's
there's
positive,
both
but then-
sides, yeah.
But then back then, I felt like I was more free as a child.
But that's probably just mother's intuition as well, you know.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, with
Well, I get that.
you
I get
know,
that.
Yeah, but
But if you think about how would you be as a child in this generation, like how would you be? Would you follow the trends? Would you
I think I would follow the
would you still
trends.
be you?
I think I'd follow the trends and be me. I think so. You
But
know?
that's just part of growing up. You can't ever stop children following trends. You
Yeah.
can't.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's
to
like
be
I'm
fair,
listening to all of you guys like express how you feel about the social media and children, and my child is on my Instagram account almost every day, and I encourage her. That's how she expresses herself,
Okay.
because I've noticed that that's the right now is how she feels comfortable to express herself, and so I allow her to do it.
Yeah.
I do control it.
Yeah.
She can't go on Instagram.
Yeah.
She can't do that. But she feels really confident in front of the camera. And there is all of this access to Instagram, YouTube, and all of these
But
children
she imitates
building.
you, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She imitates
She doesn't imitate
you.
me. She has her own personality.
But you know what I mean by not as in imitates you directly, but because she sees you on it and active, so she feels confident enough
Yeah.
to be active as well. And I
Definitely.
think that's what I was trying to say is what you see in front of you, you know,
Yeah.
and that social media, what they see in front of them, they will imitate. It's just that kind of, but like you said, the you know the balance between the two.
You know, I don't necessarily agree with that imitation thing, because you can't force children to like and do something they don't want to do.
But
Just
they're
like-
also children.
Yeah.
No, but it's just like you're
So
saying
you
that
can't let them just have free reign
No,
and do what they
absolutely.
want.
But it was just like you were saying that you almost feel like you're forcing your kids to go outside and be active. And what if they just didn't want to do that? Do you know
They
what I
do.
mean? Yeah, like they better that's your passion. That's your passion.
It's not just passion.
I don't
it's
even
not-
think it's that.
No, it's
I
not
think it's
just
just it's
passion.
just
They need
bringing
to.
down back to earth
Earth,
of what
yeah.
a child is.
Yes.
A child is not with technology.
Yeah.
I know we're trying to like. I mean, my kids are on it constantly, but it's just it's got to that point where it's normalised now. But we keep forgetting there's outside. Get muddy. Go jump in a puddle.
Right.
Those things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's. I don't know. I don't know what that gap is between the two, and what's stopping these kids from doing that.
It's
Just
it's
because we
are they
haven't
afraid
encouraged it as much
Yeah. I
was
as
just
we
gonna
should.
say.
Yeah,
So
possibly, yeah.
ultimately, I encourage my daughter to get muddy. Like
Yeah.
literally, we're in the park with both of our wellies on, and we're jumping in the puddles, and all the parents are looking at us shocked. And I'm like, well, and they're just like, wow, like, how are you doing that? But to me, that's
She's
normal.
a kid. She's
doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watch this guy on YouTube called Sangharu. He's like a guru, basically.
Oh, like Sadhguru or something like
That's
that,
him, yeah. And he was basically saying, like, take the child out, like, part of their makeup and growing up is to put them into nature.
Yeah.
And if you can do that up to 2 months out of a year, then do that, because ultimately that's how they grow, that's how they feel things. It's just talking about getting back to their senses and stuff like that.
It's actually good for mental health.
Exactly.
It's
It's
actually
grounding and that kind of thing. And being cooped up in the house on an iPad, I mean, I'm guilty of obviously having my
we
daughter
all
on
are.
that.
I was going to say.
Definitely.
I was going to say.
But at the same time, they need to get outside. Let them run in the fields, run up on the hills. My mum loves taking Els out and doing all of that. And the parents will literally stare at us and be like, what is going on? It's almost like it's foreign.
Yeah.
I mean, that's personally what I get. I don't
I'm
know
guilty
why.
of that, actually. I'm actually guilty of that. You know, it is foreign. Okay. You know, it is foreign to me. Like, if I do see a mum and a child, you know, messing about
in
puddles, I'd be like, how are you getting home? Like,
Because I've got to wash those clothes.
do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's, ooh, you know. So I'm foreign to that, even though it sounds so lovely, because I had that childhood.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just, I feel like, I don't want to say evolved, because evolve is a positive term, but times have changed into it's normal to be, you know, every child has their own iPad. And if that child doesn't have their own iPad, they're not normal, you know, they're missing out, you know, with schools and stuff like that. So it is a shame, but it is, times have changed.
Yeah.
And I've kind of accepted that,
Do you know what?
happily.
Do you know
Take
what?
Zayd out.
I do take him out and like take him apart,
me.
but the puddles and the mud and, you know.
He's a boy as well, so it's going to come.
Let him.
Yeah.
Just let him out of his system now before it gets too late.
I feel like all of this just sounds so idealistic. I don't have time to take my child out as much as I should. I don't. To let her run around in mud and puddles and all of that. I don't have the time.
Oh, so in terms of like balancing and just taking her out for some fresh air,
She's at school for like however long. That's just fresh air.
I mean, that's different. Yeah, it depends on
But
ages
to
as
me
well.
as well, it's like, I don't know. You're making me rethink. This is good. Like, I feel like
Yeah, it's about
you're making
growing
me
on this
rethink.
platform.
Yeah, like,
reflection,
because
isn't it?
it's a really big reflection on me as a mother actually now, because I'm thinking, how often do
we
I
go
take
out?
her
Yeah.
out? Like, I live in a really lovely green space, and how often do I take advantage of that?
Yeah. And where you live, oh my God,
Yeah,
me and
it's
Els would be
beautiful.
out all the
Like,
time.
it's gorgeous.
So then don't you
Yeah.
think that's like
Gorgeous.
parental just style? Because is that really a generation thing?
But also, I'm a city girl. I'm
Yeah.
not a country girl, so where I live actually is really suffocating for me. So, you lot are really making me
adapting.
rethink.
Yeah, but then is that, going back to the question, is that a generation thing, or is that just how your
Time.
parenting style? So
I mean-
you don't mind your child getting muddy, but then the next parent may, and we're all in the same generation.
You're right.
So
because my
it's-
parents took me out and done the same thing.
Yeah. And then some parents didn't, and it wouldn't be. It
Yeah.
would maybe be like what was CBBC those times, or you know. So it
like
weren't
to
the
me-
internet, but
No,
To
but
me, my thing to do with my daughter is before lockdown, we'd go to the theatre, or we'd go to cinema. We'd have date nights and do museums
That's
and
cute.
things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So that's my special time with her,
love
away
that.
from the
It's like
internet.
structured
away.
activities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so for
I'm
me,
more of that person.
I value different types of activities.
Yeah.
Date nights, we go out for
I
dinner.
love that.
I can't wait
That's
till
so
Els is
sweet.
that
Yeah.
age.
We go and get our nails done together.
Yeah.
Like we do all of that. So yeah, I don't know if it is a generational thing now. I think you've got
Yeah.
a really good point there.
Yeah.
I think
No,
it's
but-
more like just your parenting style.
Style.
I don't know if that's a generation thing that we're talking about because we're all
Did your
all
mum
got
take
different
you out?
styles.
Yeah,
Like you said,
she
you
did.
were
Yeah,
out,
she did.
you know,
Me and my mum.
as a child, and you're out with Els.
Yeah.
So, and then you say it's not your preference to be out, or you don't have the time to be out.
But and even if I did, it wouldn't be my choice of
It wouldn't be your
outing.
choice,
Yeah.
exactly.
I wouldn't look forward to it.
Yeah.
If I want to enjoy the time with my child, it's got to be something that I like doing as well. Because I
She needs to fit in your schedule.
Yeah, we forget. She needs to fit in your schedule.
Yeah.
I'm not getting muddy today. All right.
I might actually
go,
try
what's the
this
ballet?
muddy puddle
I
thing.
mean, go for it. When it's raining.
I might enjoy it, but it's just the whole.
She'll be standing there like,
Yeah, I can't do it. You know, like,
Anxiety the whole time.
yeah, literally, you know, the thought of
One toe in
going
a
back
puddle.
home, yeah, and stuff like that. So I might try it. I'm not.
do you know what? Though? I was just thinking, like, we're actually the first. I think. Correct me if I'm not wrong, but the first generation to actually start understanding what iPads are and internet and things like that. Because we had what?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember High Five and all of this.
Yeah,
stuff. This was our
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
And we kind of, now with our kids, because our kids are fully on the whole internet thing, it's like we know what that's like. We know what kind of loophole that can be. We've had that inkling of, if I post this picture up, how many likes will I get, etc. Well, I don't know if they had likes.
But it wasn't obsessive back
Do you know
then.
what I'm saying?
No, not at all. It
No,
wasn't
you know,
obsessive.
No,
It
MSN,
was
I'd be on MSN. Like,
Yeah.
it was all the
MySpace.
time.
MySpace seemed a bit more
was.
obsessive. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think we ever, when we were younger, ever chased likes or counted likes
yeah,
or
yeah,
checked
yeah.
how
Fair
many
enough,
likes.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
It was we
Who
just
commented?
post it. Yeah, who commented, and we've got comment back, you know, and all this stuff. But it's just like nowadays, it's so everyone. I'm guilty of it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm 32 years old, you know, like
Big woman. Looking for a like.
literally, like how many views and likes it is, and it's just like back then when High Five and MySpace, it was more free, like you know, you wouldn't
Yeah,
care
that's true.
really
No.
how many. So I think it's generation, maybe it's technology, time.
Different times,
Different
different
times.
times, different styles, different. I don't know. We all grown into our own identity. It's like we've taken on board our traditions and kind of just made it a bit more Shazam and youthful, because we are youthful at the end of the day. So it's, I don't know.
That's why this question is, I'm finding it really hard to talk about, because we keep saying this generation. I'm like, I'm only 32. Like, why? This makes me feel really old.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm young.
Yeah.
But we've been on this earth for 32 years.
I know, but I
and
don't
we've gone
see
through.
myself.
But do you think our children are all young, so we can't really gauge it yet?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel like my son's like currently we're in the same kind of generation, although we're not. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. But so I think that comes down to how your relationship is with your son. It's not traditional.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, it's probably the same age gap. Like me and my Zaid is the same age gap as me and my mum.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But it's just like we are more seen as young, vibrant
Yeah.
mums.
Energy. What energy?
Yeah. Whereas
I
my
don't
mum
even
was-
remember my mum
mum
with
was
energy.
worn out. Like,
Yeah.
she was like baggy clothes and, you know,
Right.
the same, you know, dress.
Yeah.
For weeks, you know, like wash it back
Bringing your
on.
mum out.
You know, sorry, mum, but you know, it would be run down. You know,
You see what you did to your mum?
It is what it is.
Because
But-
I think back then, a mother's focus was solely just raising the children.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
not our focus now.
Yeah.
So that is a difference in the generation.
Yeah.
how
My mum
we-
was, she was still out raving, mate. She had the
Brilliant.
She had the high heels and the short skirts, so
But
she keeps telling
was
me.
was your mum a young mum?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, well, 21. Is that young
That
mum?
is young
That's
mum.
young.
Yeah,
Back
that is
then,
young
was
mum.
that a young mum though?
Yeah.
There's young
That
mum.
is young mum.
No,
Young
but
mum.
back then, because it's
Yeah,
like.
but my mum was
Kind of, not really.
20 when she got married, so it wasn't young back then. Like in our
Oh,
parents'
I see what
generation,
you
you see what I
mean.
mean? Like it was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
normal.
compared to now,
to
yeah.
compared to
now.
our families.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we'd be like 21. Whoa.
Yeah.
You haven't lived.
But we're having babies at like 50 now. I mean, not us, but
Yeah, for real.
yeah. I had my child like quite late,
Same.
29, which is classed as quite late.
And see, I think I was too young when I had Bella.
How old
How
was
old
you?
I was 25, 24.
I was younger, 23.
Yeah, I was
How old am now?
22.
32. Yeah. Well, I'm getting old. Yeah, so I am getting old.
Can't count.
But then saying that, I had Lejla at 19, but then I had Leo, 30. That just felt weird. I feel so haggard right now compared to my energy with Lejla. Lejla, I was loving it. I loved being pregnant and being a mum at that time. But then it's like, as more kids came along and my age, I can't keep up. And I'm literally thinking, my mum had me when she was in her 40s, her late 40s. And I just thought, this is why my sisters were there to kind of, they were my mum. Do you know what I mean?
Are you
I'm
the youngest?
I am the youngest, but do you know what's funny? I feel like I'm doing that to Lejla as well. So it's like she's having to look up. I'm like, oh, just go give your brother his milk. It's fine.
Yeah.
And she'll do it. But the thing is, she'll do it. She loves her siblings. That's
Yeah.
good. But she'll do it. But then it's like, I'm forcing. In a way, it's like I'm watching her be a mum, and she shouldn't. She should be a kid. Do you know what I mean? I do feel guilty in doing that, but I don't know if everyone with any second kids, do you do that? Or is it just me?
No, I
lot,
hear
to
that
be
a lot.
honest.
I hear
What,
that.
just
hear
like
that a lot.
letting them be
Yeah,
them?
letting them in their hands on and
My kids are too close together, so I didn't really have the
fair enough.
opportunity to do that. Probably would have.
Yeah.
My
son
abuse.
I think with my son, no. If it was the other way around, because my daughter, she's just naturally more that way.
Yeah.
But my son, no. Because it's just naturally not that way. So I just really wouldn't even ask. I wouldn't even really
enforce
ask.
it.
Yeah.
Drop the baby.
Literally.
Oh no. But yeah.
So to wrap up, what are comparisons between our generation and how our children are brought up now?
It's more opportunities, people being more accepting.
And it being more of a traditional thing, like a parenting style, maybe rather than it being about generations.
Generation.
Yeah.
It's more youthful, I think.
Yeah. And we
It's a
do
lot more-
believe that technology has an influence, whether that be positive and negative.
It's
Yeah,
there.
both, yeah. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.